y'all, it's Erin. It's that time again, fitness Q&A video. The first question comes from Amanda. She asks, metabolic damage after a contest, how to prevent it and how long does it last? Well, Amanda, that's one of those terms that has been thrown around a lot lately. It seems like if people gain weight after a contest, it's metabolic damage. If they're having a hard time losing weight, it's metabolic damage. Well, I think anybody who does a contest is going to alter their metabolism. The good news is that it's temporary. Keep in mind, if you're dieting for a show 8 weeks, 12 weeks, and you're down to 1,000 calories a day or even less sometimes, if you're consuming a normal amount after that, your body is going to conserve and hold on to all of the extra calories because you've basically been starving it. So the goal is to have a plan going into a contest, have a plan coming out of the contest. So gradually increase your calories after a show and continue exercising, taper down on the cardio if you've done a lot of cardio, and also in the off season, try to keep your activity up and try to consume as many calories as possible. And that way when you're going into a show, you don't necessarily have to cut calories down to the extreme, and you can do things in moderation. So that's something that's important to remember. Also with the metabolism, the body may get used to just a small amount of calories, but if you gradually increase it, your body will adjust back to where it was before. So just be patient. It took time to get to stage weight, and it's going to take a little bit of time to get back to normal too. The goal is to try to stay relatively close, between 5 to 10 pounds of stage weight, and like I said, don't decrease the calories so much. The next question comes from Cheryl. She asks, sometimes the only way I can get all my training in for the day is to get up and do cardio and weight training back to back first thing in the morning. I've read contradicting articles and the effects that it has on your body. What are your thoughts? Well, Cheryl, I think training is better than not training. That being said, it depends on how you're doing it. Are you rolling out of bed and just going straight to the gym and working out? That's probably not the best way to do it depending on your goals. If nothing else, take a couple of scoops of branched chain aminos and maybe a little bit of protein in a shake so that you have something, in your stomach and something to fuel your muscles. And if your goal is to gain muscle, I would switch that to where you're doing your weight training first and your cardio after, and then also make sure you have some good protein and carbs right after you work out. And you should be fine. The body adapts to a number of different situations. You just have to make sure that you fuel it properly. The next question comes from Brankika. She asks, I heard you and a few other pros say that there is no need for bulking for figure girls. I am wondering how you improve your physique in this case. If you're very lean year-round, and if you've been an athlete all of your life, what would you recommend to someone who is trying to grow muscle and at the same time not gain too much fat? Do you have a slight increase in calories over maintenance in off-season, or is there some other way to do it? Well, you definitely need to increase the calories if you're going to add muscle, and it's inevitable that you'll put on a little bit of fat. I think when we say there's no bulking phase for figure athletes, we mean there's no need to put on 15, 20, 30 pounds in the off season just to gain muscle. You can do it. You have to time your nutrients correctly, make sure you're getting enough protein and enough carbs. I do about 1 gram each per pound of body weight per day, and the rest in healthy fats, and make sure I get a good whey protein isolate right after I work out, and good carbs, and work on, like I said, the nutrient timing, and really being smart about your training program. The next question comes from Alexi. She asks, how do you regulate your training to stay at your optimum? Do you go for 4 to 6 weeks, then take a break? Or stay continuous or work towards a max and then back off? Well, Alexi, it depends on the time of year. If I'm getting ready for a show, My contest prep is usually about 4 to 6 weeks. If I'm getting ready for a track meet, then I tend to do a little bit more sprints, a little bit less weights, but every few weeks I make sure to take a few days off, and that's completely off. Just make sure that, you know, I get enough rest. And then also, if I'm lifting really heavy, if I'm going for like a max squat, I'll spend, you know, that week of sort of resting until I go for the max, and then rest after that. So the most important thing is that if you're on a program, to do the program for a few weeks at a time and then switch it up. So take progress pictures and take a look at your goals, and you can tailor your program according to your goals. So hopefully that helps. That's it for questions for this week. Until next week, train hard, y'all.